So as a quick follow-on from the last video showing the lathe chuck backstop, you remember me making this lump of aluminium which is similar in shape to a Morse taper 4.5, which is the spindle taper on my lathe. I don't think what I was talking about then. So you see me make this. I centered it, drilled and tapped it to M8, and the reason for that is I had some hex bar. Well, I didn't, I bought it, but don't tell the wife. Which is EN1A, and from that just made a simple adapter. And the reason it's hex bar, it means that you can put a socket down inside, a spanner, and give it a little twist and pop route. This have also got an added benefit if you leave it in the spindle. It keeps your spindle clean, and no debris will go up inside the spindle and come out of the back end, and your Morse taper is always kept nice and clean as well, so it has got a second advantage. What I also did with this, because this is actually measured to fit directly behind the jaws of the chuck, I popped a hole in it, which is 5mm, put a little baby grub screw in, got some bright mile 5 bar, which drops down inside. The advantage with this is the fact that this is behind the jaws, and if you want to machine something which is short, as in 10, 15, 20mm long, you can extend the probe forward to the desired length, lock that in place, and it means you can machine down to anything up to 5mm with this. So it has got its advantages. So I'll put it together, take the chuck off just to show you, and we'll have a look from there. So with the chuck off, here's our little adapter. You drop it in, and it's in place. And as you can see, it actually keeps the spindle nice and clean. There is the little probe adapter to allow you to extend past, and like I said, at this moment in time when the chuck is in place, this sits directly behind the jaws, and I don't get in the way or offend their operation at all. And with the chuck back in place, you can actually see there that the probe is extended forward. I haven't tightened it so I can actually push it back out of the way. And if you see inside, you can see the hex bar which is situated behind the jaws. So all in all, I think it's pretty handy. And like I said, I can take the hex bar out if necessary and just leave the plug in place just to keep the spindle clean. On a side note, Paul, if you're looking, it won't work, I'm afraid. The little idea, if I bring the carriage forward, that's as far back as I can go with my tool post. And that's the length of my saddle there. So I'm going to have to come up with some other idea for a rear tool post for this machine, because I can't accommodate it anyway. But that's another story and another project. So the next project. I've got this diamond lapping and sharpening rig, and I've been watching Kevin from Mr. Factotum's workshop very closely. And he's just finished showing the modifications he's done to a sharpening jig for end mills, and I'm thinking about going the same way, but obviously utilising the diamond stone instead. So I just happen to have a piece of this, which I've got enough to make tool holders and also the adjustable backstop. So this is project possible number 1. The second thing I'm considering doing is duplicating what I've done on my first milling machine. This little 4-inch cheap rotary table done the job for the time. One of the things I found really annoying though is when I set something up on there and then indicate it so it was parallel to the table, you'd always find out it was on some sort of ridiculous number, like 176 degrees. So you have to do your mathematics then to work out 90 plus, 90 minus, or whatever, 120 plus, 120 minus, and it used to drive hell into me. So I ended up taking it apart, machining the table down slightly, and then making a ring to go around it. And it works exactly the same as the ring on a dial on a lathe or a milling machine. So say for instance that was parallel, what you could do, you could slide the ring around and bring the ring back to 0, lock it, and then when you advance then, you could see exactly what he was doing. He was working from a 0 number in either direction. And I'm thinking about duplicating that on the big 8-inch, but instead of cutting the 8-inch table down, roll in a ring to go around the outside of it, and duplicating the marks. We'll have to see. That's it for now. I've got to say, Jim, I've got your sticker, but like a donut, I left up the house, so I can't do a show and tell on you this time. Thanks everyone for all the likes, subscribes, all the comments. It is really appreciated, you know that. And I'll see you really soon with another video.